Hello. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new here, I missed you so much. Welcome back. As you can tell from the title, today we are talking about Blood Sisters, and I have a confession to make. Sikuwatch ile Blood Sisters ya kitambo. Yeah, I know, me too. Nilikuwa na ghost. And actually, sister yangu ndio aliwatch hiyo show and then akaniambia plot. So, kama nimewahi kuambia niliwatch hiyo kitu, I guess the truth comes out. And by the way, shout out to my sister. Yeye ndio alikuwa na watching hizi horror movie and then ananiambia plot. And yes, Blood Sisters ya kitambo ilikuwa horror movie. Na hata kama sasa hivi watch ni cringy, there's a way my mind will just find a way to make it big cinema, and then I will start seeing things and hearing things. Oh. So you can imagine my complete joy when I found out that the new rendition of Blood Sisters does not have ghosts. So lazima ningewatch. And karibu ni cheesy. And that's why I have to make this video. So without further ado, Blood Sisters. So before I get into the plot of the show, there are some few things I need to get out of the way. And number one is, let's talk about the production of this show. The production of this show was freaking Hollywood level. I mean, seriously. The very few stuff, especially from Africa, that I have seen with this level of production, it was just amazing. And I was really very happy to see the work that was put into this show. It was just amazing. And then there was the wardrobe for this show had me on a freaking chokehold. Oh my god. I mean, wahoo, seriously. It had me clutching my pearls like this. And I just could not believe it. Whoever was in charge of wardrobe obviously didn't get enough, in my opinion. They should have gotten more. I was just perplexed with how the outfits were just amazing. And then there was the cast. I mean, what else is there to say? The show had A-list actors, not just from Nigeria, but from Africa as well. And there was also the one and only Ramsey Noah. I mean, this man could just stand in a corner somewhere and I would just be like, wow, amazing, brilliant, talented. I was just happy to see this cast. I've seen most of their work, so not just Ramsey Noah, obviously, but for the other cast as well. I've seen some of their work. I watch these things. I think those are the things that I needed to get out of the way fast. Now that that is out of the way, seriously now, Blood Sisters. So hii show inaanza na Femi. Femi ni character kwa show. Huyu jamaa anakutana na assassin juu anataka kuua brother yake. Brother yake anaitwa Kola. So he's jealous of Kola because Kola has taken over the family business, which I think is some pharmaceutical company. And we also find out that Kola is the beloved son of their mother, who I should mention, they share a very weird, questionable relationship. And then we have Kola's sister, who everyone insists anasoma abroad for some weird reason.
My daughter, Jermaine, who is studying overseas.
Jermaine is in the UK trying to complete her studies.
But she's a drug addict.
Mom, everybody knows I'm in rehab.
Kola is about to get married to Sarah. So during the pre-wedding, ex wa Sarah shows up anaitwa Kenny. So he wants to get back together, sijui, he's trying to stop the wedding. Kola kona hivyo, ye aka jam. So akaenda akapiga Sarah. So we find out that Kola is actually an abusive partner. We cut to the wedding day, I think the next day. During the reception, sijui kama ni reception, but it was before the ceremony, Kola suspects he's being watched. And the assassin, dude who tries so hard to look menacing. If you're trying to blend in with the crowd, maybe don't look like that. Don't walk like that. Anyway, fight inatokea. Obviously the assassin fails to kill Kola, so anaarestiwa na polisi. Beshte ya Sarah anaitwa Kemi. Kemi knows that Sarah is being abused by her husband. So she tells her, hey manze, like, you can't go through with the wedding, blah, blah, blah. And she talks her out of the wedding. So before the actual ceremony of the wedding, Kemi goes and tells Kola that Sarah wants to speak to him in the room. Kola akafika, Sarah says that she doesn't want to marry him, and Kola gets mad and he starts strangling her. So Kemi walks in and she sees that her friend is being strangled. I think she picks up an object and she hits Kola on the head, and then while they were tussling, a gun falls out of Kola's pocket and Kemi takes the gun and shoots him in the head. They quickly cover up his body and decide to go back downstairs and, like, act normal so that no one will be suspicious. So wao wana dance too, nini. They obviously realize that something is missing because the groom doesn't show up. They immediately tell the guests to leave. Kemi and Sarah go back to the room and they start arguing about what to do with the body. And then Kemi comes up with this brilliant idea of dismembering him. So akaenda akachukua visu, akachukua makaratasi, the garbage bags.
We can't do this.
What do you mean we? Who is we? Are you speaking French? I don't understand who we is.
You slap on the head.
Oh no, what's that? Don't you watch those beheading videos?
I'm sorry, I was under the impression I was watching this thing in 720p, but this chick has just been caught in 4K saying that she watches beheading videos. But don't worry, they actually don't dismember him. They just decapitate him and they get rid of all the evidence. And while they were getting rid of his body and putting it in, like, the trunk, they were in a parking lot, someone sees them and takes pictures. So episode 1 inaisha when they are digging up to bury the body. So quickly to episode 2, the mother, I don't know, for some weird reason, is not worried her lover's son is missing. She thinks that he made the conscious decision of leaving the social climber, who is Sarah. Femi obviously takes this precious opportunity to take over the company. I'm so confused. There's Femi and there's Kemi. So Femi is the brother and then Kemi is the best friend. Kemi shows up to work like nothing happened. Are you surprised? Why are you surprised? After work, I think when she goes to a supermarket, she meets up with the guy who took pictures of them. And he tells them that he wants money, obviously. So they go and get the money. And surprise, surprise, obviously he wants more to maintain his silence. While all this is happening, we meet our detective on the case, who I must say has the most ambiguous accent I have ever heard.
Maybe I could just speak to your sister.
I always need food.
Your accent ni ya wapi? He always had a toothpick in his mouth that triggered my fight or flight.
I work for Chicago.
Sir, if you don't get that toothpick, are you damn now? I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna... Anyway, the blood sisters find out that they are unable to raise the amount of money that this guy wanted. And Kemi comes up with another brilliant idea.
We take him out.
On a date. No, she means kill him. This chick is a raging psychopath.
Oh no, I'm not a psychopath now.
I reckon that you are, mate. She even comes up with a way to do it. Long story short, they meet up with the photographer and they kill him. So Sarah is eventually burdened by what they've done, and she meets up with Kenny, her ex, and she opens up to him about what they've done. Meanwhile, the police find Kola's body, and somehow this investigator man is led to Kenny as a suspect. Kenny is obviously arrested. Sarah finds out. Obviously, she feels guilty because they know they're the ones who killed Kola. She goes to tell Kenny that Kenny has been arrested, and she responds with,
That the police have taken him in. Okay.
But when she tells Kemi that Kenny knew that they're the ones who killed Kola, she immediately gets mad. Even for a second, karibu nifikirie ata suggest uende wauwe Kenny, but thank God she didn't. The police end up finding the camera footage from the garage zile walikuwa naeka hiyo mwili kwa trunk, and they find out that the two chicks, the blood sisters, are behind it. So eventually Mama Kola akaambiwa, and you can imagine how mad she was. So I think at the end of episode 2 inaisha sazile, the police and Mama Kola akatuma Ramsey Noah, I forget his name, Benja, alikuwa anaitwa Mr. B. So now we have Ramsey Noah and the police are after the two chicks, so they immediately take off their wigs and become fugitives. So mimi wacha nisiwadanganye. At this point, ikitu sasa inageuka inakuwa GTA. If I tell you everything in detail, your brain would be discombobulated. Wacha ni jaribu kusummarize as much as I possibly can. So, detective akaanza kuchase stupid leads. So he has the obvious suspects. I mean, there's camera footage of these chicks putting a dead body in a trunk, but you chase your leads. Kenny alikufa. He was murdered, thank God, not by Kemi. And then everyone finds out that Kola was physically abusive, like in a psychotic way. The chicks eventually get arrested, but they are not to be taken to jail because Mama Kola wants to execute them, execution style. But eventually they aren't because, surprise, they are saved by plot armor. Let's get to the reason you clicked this video. Now, this show, as you can probably tell, is very messy. My biggest issue with the show is the fact that the two chicks are portrayed to be the protagonist of the show. Sarah was abused, which, by the way, violence of any nature should be condemned, which I am glad they did. Kemi shoots Kola in self-defense, which, by the way, who shoots someone in the head if you're not actually trying to kill them? But I digress. Let's assume it was a mistake and Kemi didn't actually mean to shoot him. But to get as far as these chicks did in this show, you're a vile human being and you can't prove me otherwise. Unajua venye ni ngumu kukata kichwa ya kuku. I meant ya kuku. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Hiyo kitu haikatikangi. I saw unaweza ishi hapo. Hiyo kitu haitakatika. They did not only do that. In fact, their initial idea, wacha tuseme ni Kemi. Kemi's initial idea was to dismember him, as in kumkatakata. That was the initial idea, but they did not stop there. They proceeded to kill the people who knew that they killed this man. But this show tries so hard to convince us that what these chicks did was very necessary and they didn't have a choice.
So you can use this, right? I mean, this is proof that the girls were just defending themselves.
Walimkata kichwa! Mimi, I am not against anti-heroes because there are shows that do the anti-hero as the protagonist very well, like they show you. But don't try and convince me that what this character is doing is some altruistic deed that is for the greater good of humanity. Because just because they have their own reasons behind what they did, it really doesn't make it right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And in fact, they did need to go to prison because they did not just kill Kola. They also killed the photographer. This show has so many bizarre things that happen, so many bizarre stuff. But by far the most absurd thing is that Kemi is not a serial killer. I mean, who is buying that? Imagine I'm saying for the first time. Me, first of all, me shutum say, I am projectile vomiting everywhere and leaving my DNA. I won't even get as far as chopping off his head. Wawu, ni mi peke yangu ndio. Am I the only one? God damn. Okay. This chick has killed people before and you will not convince me otherwise. Well, this show will gaslight you. This is gaslighting, senior. You know what? At this point, I don't even know what gaslighting means. You know what it means. I don't. Yes, you do. I don't. You do. I do? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think if you watched the show. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like. The thumbs up. Please leave a like. Because I need your validation. I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles.